Shalom, Yasharala.
Shalom.
It's Great Millstone, New Orleans, coming back at y'all with another lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. So, as you can see, the name of this lesson is, why are you learning if you don't plan on teaching? And this is to whom it may concern. All right, you have Israelites that come into the faith. They come to the truth. They start watching videos nonstop. They get the notebook. They get the highlighter, and they start taking notes with no real intention on ever teaching the truth. And we're in the absolute last time that we're ever going to have to teach the nation of Israel the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, we're not going to have to break down who the Gentiles are in the kingdom. Okay, the majority of what we teach really goes into breaking down strongholds. All right, the self-proclaimed white man. All right, Esau, Edom. He spread lies. The majority of what we teach, we just teaching Jake to unlearn the BS and madness that they've been taught.
That's it.
So in the kingdom, a kingdom established by truth, we're not going to have to teach or explain to Jake, hey, everything you've been taught your whole life is a lie. They're going to grow up in the truth. So this is our last chance to really teach the scriptures.
That's a good point. You said we basically teaching Jake to unlearn, because what's in you is your education. It's going to draw out.
It's drawing out.
So we unlearning. We as teaching, you breaking down and then building. Vice versa. That's the way anything has a steady foundation.
Yeah.
But like the brother said, the teachers mainly teaching to unlearn you, man.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna learn by learning what was not right, man, or not correct.
Yeah.
That's how we're being educated, man. You got it.
Yeah. So when you come into the truth, you know the Lord's actually calling you to do what it is you see us doing.
Yeah.
All right, it tells you in Timothy. Matter of fact, let's start with the Timothy. 2 Timothy 2:2.
All right, this 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2. And these things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also.
Who shall be able to what?
Teach others also.
Right, so we're supposed to teach men that can teach others also. That's how the truth spreads. All right, every brother that you see behind the camera or on camera, we all learn from a man of the Lord. He learned from a man of the Lord. He learned from so on and so forth. Going back to the men of the Lord in the scriptures. That's, Jake have that saying, each one teach one. That's Yahushai's doctrine. So if you come into the truth, or so-called, and you planning on you learning, you this breakdown means this, okay, this precept goes with this. At what point do you want to teach? Okay, we're not here to just be on the other side forever. We're not here to just memorize endless scriptures to prove how deep we are. At some point, you got to roll up your sleeves and get active, Jake. All right, Jake has to want it. When you go into the kingdom of heaven, you go into a reward for our works. What are your works? All right, Jake have this idea. I'm gonna just be a help forever. Like, where is that in the scriptures, man? The Lord, He actually has men that are helps and teachers and prophets. All right, going back into Corinthians. But you can't tell the Lord what you're not gonna do.
You can't tell him what position you're gonna play.
Yeah.
When he's the GM, the owner, the coach,
Yeah,
when
you
he's
tell
everything.
the owner, I won't be the center.
Yeah, you can't. Nah, I pay you on my payroll.
Yeah.
You're on the will of the Lord. We on the will of the Lord.
Yeah, you 5'10". You go to the GM talking about I won't be the center.
How?
My favorite player growing up, I love Shaq. I love Elijah Wan. I just really feel I could be a center. It's like, well, that's not true. You can't do that here. All right. The Lord has He has a ministry, and He has different roles for each man. You don't decide what your own role is.
They tell you in is that Matthew? You could grab it. Why stand ye idle at the why stand ye idle at the marketplace or the gate? Salakia, because why they say the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. But He didn't say what labor you're gonna have to do. It just say the laborers are few. So those who labor put what? They put the work in. They're the laborers. All right, you got it.
It's St. Matthew chapter 20, starting at the top. It says, "For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard."
Yeah, a householder. We know how economists. All right, nothing different from the controller of the house or the keeper of the house.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
It says, "And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace."
In the marketplace as well, it's
Agora.
symbolic for the agora.
Yeah.
All right, or what? The chief place of concourse where what? Business and commerce, different things happen. Transactions is happening. All right. Those transactions lead to what? The transactions of what? Getting men into the bringing men into the ministry, teaching men, building men up. All right, because contrary to popular belief in Sirach 24 and 34 is that we, the ones that entered into other men's labor, they're laboring so men can enter into their labor. Right? It's right. And the labor is elongated by what? Men study laboring. Yeah. That's why you can't stop laboring, or you can't say, well, I've taught enough, right? Yeah. And then our apostles and elders would basically look ashamed because they're like, well, we're still teaching, right? And now, if they're still teaching, how much more those who have entered into their labors? Go ahead, you got it.
If you got men in their 50s approaching 60, they still teaching. They've been teaching 30 years. They still teaching. You find out you're an Israelite, you're like, well, I'm not a teacher.
Yeah, I'm not a teacher.
That's madness, man. You're a young man. You're supposed to. You're in your strength.
Yeah.
A young lion talking about, yeah, I'm not gonna go hunting. I'm just here to help. You know, the pride is over here. I'm just here to help the pride. You're a young lion, man. You're supposed to get active. But this real quick,
they actually put the young lion out to show him how to go and hunt. Like, you gonna take over the pride at a point.
This gonna be your job.
This gonna be your job. Yeah. So whatever a man is showing you, it's for you. It could potentially be your job.
Yeah.
For most men, it's gonna be your job.
Yeah. You have no idea like what's gonna happen. The Lord has camp set up. The camp grows. Next thing you know, you've been in the truth a couple of years and months. Now that the camp is split, you essentially not the head of a camp, but you leading the camp while the head of the camp is doing his own thing over there. So as the ministry grows, you need to expect to be put in a leadership position. You shouldn't be in the truth for years with this idea that, you know, what I got right now is enough. But I want to get this real quick to back up that word agora. This is Proverbs 1:20. It says, wisdom cried without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She cried in the chief place of concourse. So the marketplace is the chief place of business, which means what? It's the chief place of our Father's business too.
Yeah.
So if you're on the side in the chief place of concourse, you see men teaching, and you just want to learn forever. You just want to just highlight your whole Bible. You know, check out the whole Bible.
The whole chapter. Yeah. What are you doing?
And don't ever want to teach.
Yeah.
That's a real. It's a demon at the end of the day, because you might be an actual man of the Lord. The Lord gave you his name, he gave you his doctrine, and he gave you the true teachers.
Mm-hmm.
He could have, if the Lord wanted to destroy you, he could have had you in one of these off camps talking about mermaids living under the pyramids. You got camps teaching all kind of madness. The Lord actually gave you the true teachers, and you just sitting with your twiddling your thumbs, talking about you want to be a help, man. There's nobody in the Bible that told you how
what they want to be.
Yeah, I just want to be this. I want to do this. It's like, no, this is your job. This is your office.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when you look at the men in the scriptures that try to tell the Lord, look, I can't do this. He's like, no, Moses, no excuse.
Yeah.
All right. Jonah. All right. Even Yahushua, you know, right before he went on the cross, he's like, is there any other way? He didn't get an answer. What does that mean? You got to do this. But you got that Proverbs? Oh, you got another one?
Yeah, this for you. This Wisdom of Solomon, Sirach 24 and 34. It says, behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom.
That's plain, man. We do this to edify the elect. That's why, you know, if you notice, every video, it begins, we praise the Heavenly Father and his Son. We give double honors to the men that taught us, and then we give shalom, which is peace, to the men that are teaching, that are laboring also. This isn't a thing of, you know, the Lord's not looking for cheerleaders. He's not looking for cheerleaders with fringes instead of pom-poms. And you're on a comment board forever. You're on the other side forever. You're just perpetually learning, never able to come to the truth. And it just shows a lack of faith, which the Heavenly Father hates. All right, if you have a problem putting yourself out there, you have a problem being in front of the camera, if you have a problem doing what it takes to be a teacher, it's ultimately a lack of faith. You don't believe the Heavenly Father's with you. You don't believe he's dealing with you. When he's giving you all the tools, all the signs, again, he's giving you his name, his actual teachers, and he's giving you the scriptures. You're actually studying the scriptures to never use them. You do realize we're not going to teach Jake in the kingdom, man. We're not going to have to explain to Jake, well, look, the word Gentile, this is talking about the Israelite foreigner. We're not going to have to explain that in the kingdom, man. This is our last time to really roll up our sleeves and get it in, man. What are you doing? Jake just want to be on the sidelines. Here it is, you got people that get injured. They want to be in the game, but they on the sidelines because the Lord, you know, he had them twist their Achilles heel. You actively show up to the game with the suit on and just sit down like you just want to watch the game. But you fully healthy. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, teaching should be a motive or motivational tool.
Yeah.
When you see men teaching, we said, look, I want to teach like that, man.
Yeah, I want to teach
Most
like
Jake, like, I just want be like, listen, the Lord have given us instruments or made us vessels, all right, for the glory, to give him his glory or to glorify him. So the vessel that he made you, all right, he wanted you to become the best vessel you can be, right? Not what vessel another man can be, right? So even when we look upon others as teaching, and that's why men don't teach the same way, but we teach the same thing, right? So now you understand that your level of teaching or what you were supposed to get has been given unto you from the Lord. You understand that it came from the Lord and it didn't come from this man. Because if you just learn how to teach like a man, you're going to believe he gave you the knowledge.
Exactly.
Right? But the knowledge is from on high. All right? So that should give you motive to be like, okay, if I become a teacher, then I know the word of the Lord is true. I got something for you. This is a didactic. Right? Didactic. It says, intended to teach something, particularly in having moral instruction as a motive. So the moral instructions in the scriptures is our motive to want to teach it, man. Right? Because what it requires inside of the word of the Lord, debt, judgment, life, a kingdom, rulership. This is enough motive to learn to teach it. And what it does, it enlightens your spirit so much to where you want that. Why do you think a man, when we first learned this, we wanted to teach it so bad, but we couldn't, we only knew a scripture or two. But it was the motive, the moral instructions in it that wanted us to just teach our people because we what? We intended to know it. We wanted to know it so much to where we taught it without knowing it.
That's why,
you know.
That's why it's called the gospel.
It's called the gospel.
It's the best news we ever heard.
The good
in our
news.
life.
There you go.
And even in the world, when you hear good news, what do you want to do? You want to spread it. You want to tell everybody. So when you find out the kingdom of heaven, you find out our forefathers were the greatest men who ever lived. You find out the Most High hasn't forgotten us. He hasn't turned on us. He's going to make good on his promise. You gotta teach that, Jake. And you have to want to do that. You have to have a desire. How do you not have a desire to talk about the kingdom of heaven? What else are you talking about? You talking about the world? You care about this place?
And you got to know what you're talking about, man. Because people are going to ask you questions about it because it's intriguing. Right? If it motivated you, then it can motivate anybody else. You can't say, well, it can't motivate nobody. You don't know who the Lord can enlighten to be motivated by it.
That's a beautiful point. Like, as soon as we came into the truth, what's the first thing we had? We had questions.
We had questions.
The first question, that's in the Bible?
That's in the Bible? That's a question.
That's in there?
That's in there? Yeah.
Then you learn where it is in the Bible. Now you're like, okay, this is in my Bible too. This is the same Bible my grandma had. This is the same Bible that's been in my house the whole time. This been in here the whole time. Then you start writing down, okay, this goes here, this goes there, and you want to teach it. And you know when you teach, other people are going to ask you questions. So you need to be able to answer those questions. But Jake don't want the responsibility of answering questions.
They just want to teach.
Oh, they got it. Y'all cannot know the truth. Y'all know the truth. I'm a why know the truth. They can answer that question. No, man.
No.
You got to be able to know for you. What happens in Jacob's trouble if you come across somebody of the hopeful elect? Let's say they're not a prophet. Let's say they're actually a help. Okay, you want to be a help so bad. What happens when you come across a help and they have questions about the scriptures? Where America's in the Bible? Where is that?
Where is that?
I'm an Israelite. I saw that on Instagram. You know, something about the Israelites. What? Can you tell me more?
The so-called white man is the devil.
Yeah, he's the devil. Where is that in the Bible?
In the Bible.
And you're sitting there like, man, let me call the elder. Let me call the elder. Like, no, you should be able to explain the basics of the truth to any man that has a question. That's why Peter said, be ready to give an answer to any man that asks you for the reason of your hope.
Or your belief. That's why I tell you to be apt to teach. You go on that word apt, it goes into that word that I said, that didactic, which means teaching precepts. So it ain't say teaching anything, it said precepts. What are the precepts? That's the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's the word of the Lord. So there's a particular teaching you need to know. Man, we don't care if you don't know how to teach nothing else in life, G. Learn, teach this.
Nothing else matters.
Don't nothing else really matter, man. You know, we put our eggs in a basket with, oh, I'm going to go to this seminar. Man, teach this, man. All right? And be ready to give an answer. All right? Because you ready to give an answer shows you know how to teach it, man.
Yeah.
All right? You knowing something, that means you can teach it to others. When I train people at the job, the company allowed me to train them because they know I know it.
Yeah, you can answer questions.
I can answer questions. Like whatever you need to know about, just ask, ask.
Yeah.
He's going to tell you.
If you can't answer questions, that means you really don't know it.
You don't know it.
So if you've been watching videos for years, you got your whole Bible highlighted, and somebody asks you, who are the Gentiles? You don't really know the scriptures.
Yeah.
You putting on a facade. All right. Jake need to be real with themselves. And when the teachers teach you and they ask you if you have a question, say, yeah, I got a question. I don't understand this.
Yep,
Jake be scared to say, I don't understand. Like, we're going to chop your head off. Oh, that brother don't understand. Kick him out. Bro, we're not here for that, man. We actually here to edify. So if you learn for an hour or you watch a video and you have questions, but you scared to say you have questions, you bugged out, man.
For real.
We don't look down on the man because he has a question. We all got questions.
For real.
Like, that don't go away. But this what you had quoted.
Come, you got it.
This 2 Timothy 2. And I'm going to start at 24. It says, and the servant of Yahushua must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, apt to teach, man. You have to be have a readiness to teach. You have to be ready and willing to break bread. Okay, this means this means that. When you see somebody that's curious about the scriptures, you should be elated, really. Like, here's another one. Here's another brother.
Curiosity is a motive.
Yeah.
That's another instructive motive.
Yes. Curiosity shows that somebody's thinking. The gears are turning in their head. Yeah. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
All right. If you see somebody on the other side for weeks, they don't have no questions. They just standing there like this.
Yeah.
The Lord ain't dealing with that. He out here. This might be a show. This might be entertainment to him. Are you in the truth for years? You have no questions.
We had brothers in the camp, old camp. Jake, somebody come up and ask a question. Jake run him up the street, man.
Yeah, get out of here, man.
Get out of here. You tripping. The old camps do that shit too. You nigga, look what you got on. Your fringes ain't on. Like,
where your fringes?
What are we doing?
Bro, he asking you about the Bible.
He asked you about the Bible. That's where the fringes at. Yeah.
Bro, he walked up not knowing nothing. Of course he don't have fringes on. Like, what?
Teaching is not about cutting either.
Yeah.
Ultimate teaching is about edifying.
Okay.
Right? The first order of business, let's edify.
Yeah. Usually when somebody get cut, it's because they don't know the truth at all. They're heathen.
But it's still building them up.
It's building up the other people that's watching it too. Yeah. You're not supposed to cut somebody that's asking you a question in sincerity just to make yourself look high and mighty. Oh, I know the scriptures and you don't. What does that do?
Yeah, they already broken down.
Yeah.
If they don't know the heavenly word in the script, they broken down already.
Yeah.
You don't gotta break them no more.
We didn't know the truth.
Yeah, we didn't know it.
Yeah. But that's Jake, man.
I got the proverb for you whenever you want it.
Yeah, you got it.
This proverb is 21 and 25. It says, the desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor.
Right. The desire of the slothful killeth him. If you have a desire as a slothful man, you a sluggard, you don't want to get your hands dirty, you want to put in work, then that's going to kill you ultimately, right? Because Yahushua said what? Those that know the truth and did nothing with it, you're going to be beat with many stripes. So for you to be on the other side for years, to have your whole Bible highlighted and not want to teach, you basically putting your talent behind a napkin. You hiding it. You hiding the truth, Jake. Jake think they, just because they come around brothers that's preaching the word, that they not hiding the truth.
Seeking everything.
The Lord sees your inner, he knows if you're scared, he knows if you lack faith. You can't hide from the Lord. You can put on a show for men, but at the end of the day, if you're scared to make your body a living sacrifice, then what are you doing?
No, I just want to add a little bit. The desire of the slothful killing him. So for the slothful to have any type of desire, when you desire something, you seek it. You intermeddling with wisdom. You want it. Our desire. When we desire wisdom, we want to go after. We're gonna study. We're gonna look up things because we want it. So if the slothful, a man who's slothful, who's not known for seeking, and he's lackadaisical, he don't put in work. All right, that's like you want the accolades of Jordan and Kobe, but you got the work ethic of Shaq. You know, you eating hamburgers in the summer. You making commercials, concerts. So that's why Kobe and Shaq always did this, because Kobe believed they could have reached a higher level of greatness or achievement if Shaq would have worked more.
Yeah.
So he was slothful. He was slothful. All right. So think of the desire. You got the desire to want the kingdom of heaven. Like, you know, some Jake be like, man, I can't wait to have this. I'm gonna have the women. I'm gonna have it. You ain't even working hard. Like, you know, you got brothers working 2 times, 3 times harder than you, man. And you round the harvest. Like, you're in the, like, you round the man. But you tied to things in the world, or a woman or something, you know, whatever it may be, brother. Like, the desire you have for the kingdom, you can't be slothful with it. It gotta all meet together, man. The way you seek the Lord, it gotta be contingent upon your whole, like, your morale, your mentality. It gotta be a mentality there, man. All right, so that's why I say he that separated himself in a medley with all what? Wisdom and knowledge. Because again, the slothful can't have no desire. That's why his desire killing him, because it's the opposite of what he's seeking for.
Yeah.
Right? Because his slothfulness is stopping what he actually desires. You got it, bro.
Yeah, then you make brothers vex because
Yep.
if you're around hardworking people, and this with any job.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
If you're in a job full of a bunch of people that's giving they all, giving 100%, going hard, you just you known as somebody that's slothful, you make enemies, man.
Mm-hmm.
People look at you like, what's up? We've been
What's
here
up? Yeah.
working longer than him. He just coming around, acting like we all cool. You making the job harder for the people that's working hard, man.
Yeah, for real, bro.
A job's supposed to be, you got different teams. Okay, you allotted 5 people to do this job. 4 of them working hard. This other dude just fucking off. He going off, you know, looking at Tinder, at TikTok. He playing games. That's making it harder for the other 4 that's working.
Yep.
So if you come into the ministry, you see brothers going hard, getting active, making their bodies a living sacrifice. You talking about, man, I couldn't make it to camp. I had to cut the grass. You know, I could only do it this Saturday.
Yeah.
It's like, you.
What?
Yeah, what are you talking about, brother? Every brother in the truth has something to do. Okay, we all got, brothers got families, jobs, responsibilities. Brothers got things going on. You're not special, Jay, because you have a bill, you have a woman, you have a baby, you have this and that. Brothers got things going on, ailments you don't know about. There's no excuses.
Yeah, you don't gotta go hard like a brother. You just gotta go hard, Jay.
Yeah.
Right? And you're going hard like a brother. But you gotta be with your brother. If you see him going hard, just get in and do what you need to do to go hard.
Go hard for you.
Go hard for you.
Yeah.
If you go hard, we are going hard. Because we got the same itinerary, the same goal. So when you going hard, I can't look at you and say, brother, you need to be going hard like this.
Yeah.
You're going hard.
You're doing what's necessary.
You're going hard, you know?
Yeah. You have to compare yourself to another brother. Well, I need to do this.
I need to do it because that brother doing this,
Yeah,
this,
that's
and that.
his measure.
That's his measure.
We all have our own measure. But Jake know when he bullshit, man.
He knows.
You know, especially if you striving in the world and you done unlocked every character on the video game. You got 8 holes, you juggling this and that. You working overtime for this, a corruptible crown. But then when it comes to the truth, I'm like, I don't got time to study.
Yeah.
What you mean I got to, bro? It's audio Bibles. You could play the
Yeah,
Bible while you're driving.
While you're driving.
Bro, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
Bro, it's audio Bible. You could literally just press play.
I don't know. Jake making his sacrifice in vain, brother. He's sacrificing in vain.
Yeah.
You know, your offering is ridiculous at this point because, again, if you was given a task, he gave the householder gave you a task to look. You know, when the householder left, he gave you a duty. If we're in the house, if it's 5 of us in the house, all of us don't need to do the same thing in the house.
Yeah.
For what? Why? Right? You do this, and that, and then you do your portion.
Yeah.
The Lord kept it simple for us. Do your job. Like people in New England with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick made every 52-man roster. I have 53 men. He told everybody every day, every man, do your job.
Your job.
Do your job. You're going to have a job, do your job. And guess what? It was successful. He had a recipe of success. So the same thing with teaching. If brothers are teaching you, learn it so you can teach other brothers. Yeah. Do your job, man. Go ahead, brother. What you want?
You Get Proverbs 18:9.
Okay, gotcha.
And that was a beautiful point, because if we know that our job is to teach, and our job is to teach men that are going to teach others also, your job is to learn the scripture so that you can teach. It's not super difficult. It's not super deep. It doesn't even require you. Jake think they got to learn the whole Bible before
they start teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you only teach what you learn.
Teach what you know.
What you know. It ain't like that. Brother ain't telling you, I need to learn everything. That's another thing. Jake is anxious to teach, but slow to learn.
Slow to learn. Yeah, that's another thing.
You gotta be anxious to learn and slow to teach.
So you got Israelites that want to learn and don't want to teach. Then you got Israelites that want to teach and don't want to learn. That's a whole other topic.
That's a whole other topic.
Jake want to make 100 videos.
Yeah, that's a part two.
That's the sequel.
You know.
Yeah, you got it.
This Proverbs 18:9. He also that is slothful, and his work is brother to him that is a great waster.
Right. So a man cleaveth to his light. When you hard working, you're gonna cleave unto those that are hard working. When you like to learn and teach, you're gonna gravitate towards other men that learn and teach. When you slothful, you're gonna become like the dregs. You're gonna sink down to the bottom. You're gonna start hanging out with scoffers. You're gonna start hanging out with men that left the truth. I never liked the elder.
Yeah, you're gonna come up with things.
Yeah, you're gonna start coming up with excuses. Well, I didn't leave the truth because I wasn't good enough, because I didn't know how to manage my time. I left the truth because this brother right here.
Yeah,
he did this. He had said this.
All brothers say, I don't like how he teach.
Yeah, like
a brother wouldn't say he can't teach.
Yeah.
Brother just be like, I don't like how he teach.
I don't like how he teach.
Brother, what we doing?
Who cares?
Who cares? Long as you are. I got the word teach right here, brother. Yeah. Sometimes things get simple, right? To show, to point out, to declare, all right, to demonstrate. So when one demonstrates something to you, they teach you how to teach. Are you going to teach exactly like that person? 9 times out of 10, no. But if you learn it the way it's supposed to be learned and what it is, you can teach it.
That's the beautiful thing about the truth.
Yeah.
Which in the Hebrew is a mouth.
Demonstrates itself. Yeah.
When you go into math, you got a million math teachers. But they all teach you 2 + 2 is 4. They all teach you division, subtraction. Like, it's the same math, but it's taught different ways.
Yeah.
That's how the truth works. All right. Lies have to be very specific. You got to pick this exact precept and twist it exactly that way. See, God so loved the world. God loves everybody. You got to go to specific scriptures and lie. When it comes to the truth, bro, it's a million ways to teach that we're the Israelites. It's a million ways to teach the so-called white man is Esau. There's a million ways to teach that the kingdom of heaven is going to be on earth. There's a million different ways to teach all of these topics. That's why the truth, it just flows. It's like a river. It's non-ending. You don't have to, Jake really watch a video and he think, I got to teach exactly like that. I got to talk like him. I got to have his vocabulary. No, the Lord gave us, he gave us all our individual spirits, man. But we all teach the truth, and we teach it the way that the Lord wants us to teach it.
Yeah.
But it's the same truth. Jake don't have faith though. Jake, that's why the Lord is going to kill you, because ultimately what you're doing is not having faith. You're not willing to go out on a limb. You looking at, okay, this is the truth, but my boss could see me, my girl could see me, this could happen to me, that could happen to me. You letting doubt supersede your need for the kingdom of heaven, which is bugged out.
It says, give instruction, train, assign. So if one teach, why is the word assign in there? Because when one teaching you, he's assigning you to teach too, man.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
You're going to have how Jake like to say, a designated assignment.
Yeah.
That's for you. All right. When the Lord told Jonah to go and prophesy to Nineveh, Jonah had to do it.
Yeah.
It ain't say, well, the Lord substituted somebody in case Jonah wanted to do it. No, he had a designated assignment for him.
Yeah.
I assigned you to teach. So whether you ready or not, it don't matter. When the Lord call you, if you bound to teach. And another thing, younger brothers just getting a lot of notes and knowledge and breakdowns and vast amount of history and understanding. The Lord ain't giving you that by way of just throwing that to you. You ain't just stumbling on this.
Yeah.
You ain't conference calls for 56 weeks, 52 weeks out of year, multiple years. You'd have been in 150 conference calls. You not getting that by accident. You might want to learn what you're getting.
Yeah.
Right? Because the Lord pearls is precious to him.
Yeah.
So if he giving them to you, then he can be using you as a vessel to teach. Now, is every man gonna be a teacher? We already know that.
Yeah.
But if you in a elongated, you are in the tabernacle of the men, then brother, you gotta teach, bro.
Yeah.
You know, just teach what you know.
Yeah.
As a man first bringing it out, what we always tell a brother, hey brother, just talk about only what you know.
Only what you know. And
That's it.
As long as you do that, you're always going to appear wise.
Yep.
Because you actually are wise.
You are wise.
All right. If you only teaching what you know, the things that you know, the topics that you can go into, you always know what you're talking about.
Every man who teaching, I guarantee you, is something they don't know.
Exactly.
It don't matter who it is.
Yeah.
We can line every man up as something they don't know.
Yeah.
That's why they'll tell you what, we're learning every day.
Yeah.
Right? So now the teachers of the Lord are what? They're humble. But if he's a teacher of the Lord, then the Lord working with him.
Yeah.
This is all we saying. The teachers don't know everything, but they know how to teach another person to teach.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's his goal. Our goal is to teach you the scriptures sound correct without no no gimmicks.
Reels, yeah.
Reels, sound, straight doctrine, and you got to go do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's simple. It says direct. So teaching is directing. Warn and persuade. All right? It says to show, point out, sign, mark. The notion is to show how to do something by the way of information or instruction. You got it.
Yeah.
Guide.
Teaching the truth directly and correctly, man. And really, it's your reasonable service.
Yep.
The Lord's not asking you to do nothing impossible. He's not asking you to go out there and speak Paleo Hebrew, full sentences, full paragraphs in Hebrew, and then teach Jake in the projects. Look, like no, right? Just go out and speak in plain English, man.
Yeah.
Jake want to seem deep when the truth is deep. The basics of the truth is deeper than any knowledge in this world. All right, we confound professors, people with PhDs. That devil that came up, he was studying anthropology for 30 years.
32 years. He was hurt.
I asked him a couple
He was
simple
dealing with him that
questions.
day. He was hurt. He walked off hurt that
He
day.
was buttered, man.
He was hurt like it. 32 years.
Yeah.
You telling me this is what I learned?
Yeah.
It ain't right.
I wasted my life.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
We all did. All right, which he was a heathen. He's a two-time loser. But when you were Israelite, you coming to the truth. Everything you were doing prior to the truth was a waste of time. But Jake will look at the world like, man, I'm missing out on the world because I'm teaching the truth. This is the greatest thing that you could do in Babylon. Which again, we're not going to be teaching Israelites the scriptures in the kingdom of heaven. So this is the last time we have to do this. You don't want to get out there one time. You don't want to roll your sleeves up. The Lord is actually going to crown men for standing stiffly for the name Yahweh Shai. You don't want to be part of that number? Jake need extra motivation other than the kingdom.
Yeah.
Bruh.
You gotta be guided.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing about that definition, when the brother went into the word assign, if you teach somebody something and then assign them to go teach somebody else and they say no, it's like they never really learned it.
Yep.
If you learn something, you could teach it.
Yeah.
If you teach a child 2 + 2 is 4, they can be able to explain to somebody else, I have 2 apples, I have 2 more apples, this is 4 apples. That means they got it.
You got it. Yep.
So if you're teaching men for years, and they're like, look, what's the Trinity? Where does that come from? What is that about? Is the Trinity in the Bible? And they just standing there like, they looking around. They never really learn. And that's a blot. That's a shame.
That's a shame.
You just wasted your time. You wasted your time in the world because you in the camp, or you're not necessarily in the camp, or you around the camp, you watching videos. That's taking time away from you thriving in the world. But then you're not striving in the truth either. You're not making any progress in the world because of the truth, and you're not making any progress in the truth because you're bullshitting. So what are you doing? If Jake half-assing into the truth for years, you're still a loser in the world. So what are you gaining? Where's the progress? But you can get you got one?
Yeah, I got one real
You
quick.
got it.
This about David and the sheepfolds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start at 70, point at 72. It says he chose David, also his servant, and took him from the sheepfold, which serving is synonymous with minister, right?
Mm-hmm.
From following the ewes, great with young, he brought him to feed Jacob his people and Israel his inheritance. So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. So when we're teaching, we're God men by the skillfulness of our hand. Wisdom rains down skill. So as it raining down skill, like I read earlier in the Sirach 33 and 34, it says, behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom. So wisdom is raining down skill. We're teaching that man how to be skilled with teaching.
Yeah.
But the skill with teaching, could get the word skill, Baba Gashaka, Jake thinking you got to be like, have this unique talent. Like, you know, skill is just what it is, all right? So being guided with the skillfulness of his hands, you show another man's hands how to be skilled. Meaning more or less in what to do. It says what? Knowledge.
Knowledge.
Or the divine wisdom.
Divine wisdom.
That's simple. It's simple, but you know, Jake looking at it like, man, you telling me I need to break it down like Kaya. I need to go into depth like Amawai, be, you know, articulate, real articulate with words, or that brother getting precepts, or this brother going a vast amount of history.
Yeah.
No. You got to just have the skill or the knowledge. It says God is done by the skillfulness of his hand. So wisdom rain down skill. You're going to have the knowledge, the divine wisdom.
Divine wisdom.
The power of discernment, man.
Yep.
Judgment, sound judgment. That's what you're going to be using in the scriptures. All right. Blessed to see that read it. All right. To what? And the gnoso, to discern in between.
Discern between.
Right. That's all skill. Skill is really we're determining what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
It ain't a big old line between this one line.
This means this.
This and that means
that.
That
means that. That's what all teaching the Bible is.
That's it.
This means this.
And that don't mean that.
That don't mean that.
That's it.
Everything you've been taught, that don't mean that.
That's
this is what that means. That's all we do.
That's all we do.
And the Lord actually set it up to where different brothers have different backgrounds, different personalities, different, you know, ways of bringing things out, but we all teaching the same thing. So you watching that, you look at the camp, especially a camp down here, we completely different. We
are different. Yeah.
This brother teach this way. This brother teach that way.
We all teach different.
You should be able to look at that and say, man, I don't have to teach exactly like this. This brother teach totally different.
And we together. We ain't bumping heads. Yeah. We're not telling that brother, hey, don't teach like that.
Stop teaching like that.
Stop teaching like that. Teach like, you know, we ain't doing that.
Yeah, as long as you're teaching the truth.
Yeah.
Right? As long as you're breaking down the scriptures correctly, then it is what it is. All right. Every way that a man teaches, that reaches a particular brother that needs to hear it that way.
That's right. Yep.
That's why the Lord did it like that. All right. That's, again, you know, not to toot our own horn, but Great Millstone specifically, we the only Israelite camp where all of the brothers have their own teaching style, because we actually teach.
We all teach.
Yeah.
So what you're doing, you're saying the Lord garden is full of different, like it's saying the Lord garden is got herbs and spices. Yeah, it's his best garden. He watered it.
Yeah.
So in the garden, there's many plants, there's many fruits. That's why you saying different styles of teaching.
Yeah.
Right? Men are not the same. You look across the board, ain't nobody really the same teacher.
Yeah.
Like, men may have similarities, but they still unique in their own way.
Yeah, completely different. We're our own men.
We're our own.
When you look at these camps, it'll be like 1 or 2 teachers and then a bunch of people just
standing around.
They're holding a sign. They got the armbands. They're trying to look the part. The Lord actually called all of us to teach in our own way. And that edifies the body in love, going back to Ephesians, the 4th chapter. So you being around the actual men of the Lord, you should want to be a part of that.
You should want to come teach. Like,
you should want it.
You should want to come labor.
Yeah.
Like, come work. Learning itself is a labor. The fruits of your labor is teaching. Because then the fruit, you calling the elect home.
Yeah.
If you learning, you're not really calling the elect home, because you don't know how to fish.
Yeah.
Right? So you teach a man to fish, you feed him for today. But I mean, you know, you show him how to fish.
You teach him.
You feed him for the day.
You teach him how to fish.
You feed him for life. Then he can go feed others.
He can teach other men how to fish.
Come on, man. That's the game. Like, if you want to bring the elect home and really actually get out of here, then start teaching, Jay. If you obviously you got to get built up as a season. You know, we ain't gonna be over righteous with nothing. But we just saying, man, if you've been in this thing a while and you playing around and you supposed to be bringing it out, teaching and doing, you behind lessons, videos, right? And it's another thing, Jake. If you feel you ain't teaching enough at camp, the camp too big, well, you got your own personal platform where you can teach as much as you want. Yeah. So now what? Okay, it ain't at camp. Okay, teach on your page, on your platform.
Yeah, nobody stop you.
You could go all day.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and that way you'll get your reputation of teaching up. Like, well, I need to speak at camp. Well, go do an hour on a lesson.
Yeah, do a half hour.
Do a half hour. You can do whatever you want. It's your platform. That's why the Lord. That's how you know the Lord is not. The Lord ain't looking for cheerleaders. You know, stand-bys, walk-bys. He looking for men who gonna be great, man. At the end of the day, because when you look across the board, right, the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. The Lord is looking for men who gonna come in there and be about Him, man. Who gonna stand for Him against the evildoers? You have to know how to teach, man.
Yeah.
The evildoers already believe what they believe, but you're gonna be able to say you know the Lord. You're gonna be able to teach for the Lord, brother.
Yeah.
You gotta teach to show you know Him.
Yeah.
You got it, bro.
You can't say you know something if you can't teach it.
Yeah. What you want?
You give me Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. At the end of the day, like the brother was saying, you have to know the Lord, all right? There's going to come a point where YouTube, you know, we're talking about YouTube right now specifically, but there's going to come a point where you're not going to have a YouTube page at all. You still got to know the scriptures.
Still got to know it.
You're going to have the understanding. You're going to have that Isaiah 33 and 6. You're going to have to know what the MOTB is to not take it. You might have to explain it. Again, you might come across another member of the elect. You're going to have to teach it.
In that day, too.
Yeah.
Y'all might be somewhere, right? And he may want to believe.
Yeah.
And he like what, you know, I saw you. I remember you.
Yeah. Remember
what's the word? Like,
yeah.
you know, what happens next?
Yeah.
In a part where, you know, it may be a couple of the prophecies done passed. You know the order of prophecy.
Yeah.
You'll be like, be looking for this.
Yeah.
You know,
This is gonna happen.
This gonna happen. But that's all part of knowing, you know. This Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave, whether thou goest.
Right. Apostle Paul said, look, I can't serve the Lord in the spirit world. I can't preach the gospel after I get put to death. All right. I can do that down here when I'm in this body.
Yeah.
There's no teaching the Bible in the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
We do that here.
I got one for that.
So the scripture says, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, and you found this truth. You found the scriptures. You found the name of the Lord. You found the prophets, the true prophets. You know what you're supposed to do. Jake, you know what they're supposed to do, man. It's not complicated. You got it.
Yeah, this Sirach 14 and 16. It says, give and take and sanctify thy soul. What is part of the sanctification, man? For there's no seeking of vanities in the grave. So if we if we spending all our oil, all right, or we giving out if we letting our head like no ointment, but at the end of the day, your oil should get used up, brother. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, you know, you ain't supposed to be using it to where the foolish wise version, the way they used it was they let it go. They wasn't attentive to it.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're using it, you giving it out. You talking to loved ones, people around you, whatever. You know, however you know, the block, the ministry, your page, you active.
Yeah. Activity
shows, all right, motive shows, you know, how you teaching, what you doing. Diligence. Right? The way you seeking. There's no seeking of dances in the grave. Ain't no pleasures in the grave. So you got to give and take. Whatever you got here, you give out as freely ye receive, freely give.
Yeah.
Right? But what we received, the word, brother.
We received a lot.
We received a lot. Well, you know, the word covers everything we receive.
Everything.
But ultimately, it covers everything. You
know,
so
the Lord gave us our nationality back.
Everything.
He gave us His name. He gave us the scoop on what He's about to do.
Yeah.
He gave us the kingdom. You just sitting around like, yeah, I'm gonna teach one day, one of these days.
Yeah, it says, verse 19. Every work rotted and consuming away, and the worker thereof shall go with the window. All.
Yeah. So
your works follow you, right? But again, we ain't gonna get in the kingdom of heaven and be teaching nobody, man.
This is it.
This it. If you desire to teach and be on some level like Jake say, man, just desire to teach, brother. That's you know, just to teach the word, man. Teaching the word just shows you know it.
So 500 years from now, 1,000 years from now, 10,000 years from now, what do you want to be known as? Do you want to be known as one of those men that stood stiffly for the name of the Lord?
I taught the men of the Lord to come back to the Lord.
Yes.
Yes, brother.
Yeah. When everybody
else, I partook in it.
I was part of the house of David.
Part of the house of David, yeah.
I was glorifying Yahushua's name.
I was going to get that.
In Babylon, all right? When these people were running around debating about whether a man could be a woman, all right? These people arguing over nothing, all right? Trying to be the next LeBron James, all right? I was one of those men that actually taught righteousness.
That's right.
That's gonna be an eternal memorial. That's gonna be a crown that no man can take from you. And you're never gonna have another chance like this. You're never gonna have an opportunity again to teach Israel to come back into the Lord. It tells you in Revelation 21 that he's gonna be with us forever. He's gonna be our power. We're gonna be his people. So if we're gonna be his people forever, we're gonna be joined unto him forever. There's only gonna be one last chance for you to call Israel back unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
And you're blowing it.
Yep. What you got?
1 Timothy 4
How many more you
and
got?
11. We can end on this one.
All right.
The point is
Yeah, it's 1 Timothy 4 and 11. It says, these things command and teach.
And what? Command and what?
And teach.
That's
I'm going to start at 9, brother.
Okay.
It says, this is a faithful saying and word of all exception. Right? So, accept this. This the faithful saying. And what we're saying is in the Bible. We are reading. We're not telling you anything of our own record that we went in some lab and cooked up and you know we're gonna whip this up like this and tell Jake, look, this is what you should do. It says, for therefore we both labor and suffer reproach because we trust in the living power, who is the Savior of all men, especially of those that believe. When you believe, you're gonna transition that belief into your faith to what? To growing, to teaching. It start leveling up every by and by. Because we all started out with a little belief.
Yeah.
Right? We all started with a mustard seed of belief. And then the Lord orchestrated us as we went. We just kept coming around, listening.
Yeah.
And then the Lord just was transforming us. We gonna always be in the works of that.
Yeah.
All right, till we perfect it. But what I'm saying is just speaking of just me and that brother, we just came around, listened, was obedient, and then start serving and then start teaching and then so forth. And we pray that the Lord just have mercy on us to keep doing those things, man.
Yeah. And when we came in, there was a whole nother camp. There was a whole
nother camp.
Great Millstone, Louisiana. Some of y'all have been around. Y'all see some faces that aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
We didn't come in thinking, okay, I'm gonna open this, I'm gonna do this. We just showed up.
We just showed
and
up.
The Lord got rid of all the slothful, the niggas, all right, which that's what they were. The Lord got rid of all the niggas, and then, here we are.
Yeah. And we didn't come out there and say we was going to be nothing.
Yeah. I'm going to be
we just came out there and was diligent. Nah. Hey, what we got to do? Like, where we got to go?
Yeah.
Who house we going by next? Like,
what we doing?
Diligence. What we doing? It says, these things command and teach. Yeah, that's it.
Keep going.
Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word and conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, and in purity.
Yeah, how do you be an example of the believers if you ain't teaching? You're an example by just...
You just believe?
Yeah, I just believe. That's that Baptist spirit, man.
Yeah.
The Lord knows my heart. All of that madness, all right? We're men of the Lord. If the Lord snapped his fingers and told us it was time, we'd be executing judgment, man. We're men of action. All right, right now the action is to teach the elect to come back to the Father. Pretty soon the action is going to be, all right, ushering in the kingdom of heaven physically. So you mean to tell me you scared to be seen on camera, you scared to bring it out, but yet you ready to execute judgment on the heathen with a double-edged sword? Come on, man. This is the sword we're supposed to be wielding right now.
Real quick one.
Okay, you got it.
2 Corinthians 4 and 13, it says, we having the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believe and therefore have I spoken.
That's plain.
We also believe and therefore speak. He said, we and I.
We.
And I.
Yeah. If you believe, you're going to speak. You can't believe in the kingdom of heaven and not speak about it.
But you got to speak when you could teach.
Yeah.
You can't go get a page because the feeling is feeling good inside you. And you that's...
Yeah. You got to learn.
You got to learn.
And then teach.
Yeah.
You can't learn and not teach. You can't teach and not learn. Those two things go hand in hand, Jake.
Yeah.
Again, you got Jakes that want to learn perpetually until the kingdom and never bring it out. Then you got Jake that want to just start doing lessons without knowing the scriptures.
Not knowing the scriptures.
Jake, bugged out.
But they say you got to do lessons. No. Don't
got to do 12 videos.
Nah, dog, you got to learn.
You got to learn first.
You can't go be a mechanic. You got no tools. Nothing. Jack, nothing. Great. You just everything with your hands.
You just pop the hood.
You pop the hood. You just pulling shit apart with your hand. Like, how you gonna put a transmission in? How you gonna lift the hood? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the Lord. It's that simple.
Yeah. It really is that simple.
It's that simple.
Keep going.
It says, verse
13.
1 Timothy 4:13. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, and to doctrine.
Right. Till I come, give attendance to reading, all right, studying, to exhortation. You got to exhort brothers. We learn this truth to build each other up, man. All right. This truth is the only real medicine for what ails us. All right. Esau's medicine, come on, man. This actually boosts your soul. It boosts your spirit. And the Lord gave you this gift to pass it around and to share to other brothers.
Yep.
Keep going.
Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on the hands of the presbytery.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah, presbytery.
Presbytery.
It says, neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given to thee by prophecy. So you come into the truth by finding out, okay, America's Babylon the Great. America's going to be destroyed. Everything we're going through was a prophecy from Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. This is who we are. This is who Esau is. All of these things. Then you come into the truth of who you are. You're supposed to share that, man.
Yeah.
You should be able to break down basic precepts, Jake. You shouldn't be nervous. You shouldn't be scared. This was a gift given to you by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai through other men. You come around those men, you should want to get active.
Uh-huh.
You should be condemned if you around the camp 3 years, 5 years. You just here.
You had to know the Lord was gonna call on you one day to tell you to do it. What you think?
What you thought was gonna happen?
Jake said, "I knew it was coming away."
Yeah.
Jake know it be coming
Yeah,
on.
Jake
Hey,
know,
you ready?
You ready?
Now believe. Believing is part of teaching.
Yeah.
If you don't believe wholeheartedly, you're not gonna teach.
Okay.
Right? Most men, because they'll say they believe, but there's something they believe in. But even those men that's believing, they're getting their minds ready to transition and be like, I'm willing to show I believe. Because the Lord always put your belief to the test.
Yeah.
If you believe, then we don't see what's up with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that belief. Mm-hmm. So the Lord, at the end of the day, you believe in my word, then teach my word.
Mm-hmm.
Teach my word.
Okay.
Teach my sheep. What he said, if you love me,
if you love me, feed the flock.
Feed the flock.
Yeah.
If you feed the flock, you got to teach them, man.
Yeah. That's beautiful because the Lord, he likened this unto fishing, unto a shepherd with his sheep.
Yep, with the sheep.
There's so many analogies that go into it, but it all involves action.
Yep.
Like the brother opened with, a motive. You need to have a motive to build a house of David.
That's a motive. The kingdom of heaven, whatever, like you say, whatever, put something in your mind, brother, and go. Jay got all kind of other worldly goals in that.
Yeah.
Put the kingdom, put dominion, put it in your mind and go.
Yeah.
And take off, But that's it, but that's all I had.
Okay. So Abaratazah, this lesson was edifying to the elect. We're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the whole elect. Shalom.